and me, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that it is time for you and me to stand up for ourselves.
Malcolm's life was transformed. And all of you who claim to love Malcolm, you don't love him enough to look deep into what transformed his life. While you claim him from your lips, you live and act like the nigger that Malcolm condemned. Come on and talk to me. While you claim Malcolm with your lips, you don't have any power with all that you know to transform the lives of suffering black people. You can give them knowledge, but you can't make them make a change in their lives, because you don't have the power. It is not with you. It is not in the college. It is not in the university. It's not in Mecca or Medina or in Al-Azhar in Egypt. Malcolm had power to transform human life. When I heard Malcolm preach, I heard a man versed in the Bible, versed in the Quran, versed in the prophecies, versed in history, and he brought everything that he had read in prison and other places to bear on the Word of God. But the Word of God was primary, not secondary. You revolutionists, you nationalists, the thing that you hate is religion. Yet that is the thing that gave you Malcolm X from the very beginning. Do you deny that? Then how can you love the apple and hate the tree that produced the apple? Are you a liar? Are you ignorant? Or are you a damn hypocrite? What are you? Some of you have gotten so hip in your revolutionary nationalistic ideology, you don't want no God in your life. But Malcolm was moved by God. It was God that Malcolm represented. It was God that empowered Malcolm. It was God that gave Malcolm the mind to stand up against the government of America and all that the government represents. It was not any dictionary or ideology. It was God, raw, pure, and simple. I was with Malcolm one day with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And the people wanted to know what was the secret of the Nation of Islam's success in transforming drug addicts and making them clean. The sociologists wanted to learn. I was with Malcolm at Harvard University and at Boston University when Dr. C. Eric Lincoln invited him to address some of the leading social scientists in America. They wanted to study this phenomenon called the Nation of Islam. What is Muhammad using? How does he do this? And Elijah Muhammad told Malcolm, said, when they ask you, you tell them, it is our belief in Allah. But we don't want that. And that's why you're still the same old Negro, nigger, and colored person, and you'll always be that when you reject God in your life. Well, I don't want the God that the white man taught us about. The white man ain't never taught you about God. The white man used God's name as a cover for his evil intention to rob and rape and pillage the people of the earth who were seeking God. And this is why he painted God as a white man, so he could get you to bow down to the image of himself. He didn't teach you no religion. That's why in the church, Reverend, you don't have the power of Jesus Christ. You can only preach an empty word, but you don't have the juice to turn the people to God and to clean up their lives and give them power. You don't have that, Reverend. If you got it, you got to come get it from us. Had a dear reverend visit me. He said 1,000 members of the so-called gangs had visited Push. But when it came time for them to come, they wanted to come, and they did come. But he admitted, we really are at a little loss to know what to do for them, because they don't have the power or the knowledge to transform human life. I'm not knocking us, Reverend. I'm not putting us down, Reverend. Please don't misunderstand me. But there is no white man's school of theology that intended from the beginning to bring you to God. If you got to God, you got him on your own. They didn't intend to bring you there. If you found God, it was because you were looking for him. But it's not because they taught you. They gave you empty philosophy, moral jargon, doctrine, rituals, and then sent you out to do what? To entertain people? To find new ways to bring music to the church so that the people can jump and shout and whatnot? No, you talk to me, because that's not what church is for. Jesus didn't have no timpani five walking with him. He didn't have no guitar, no banjo, no drum, no singing group with Jesus, getting on down while the master was working out. Jesus didn't have none of that. Jesus had a pure word with power in it from knowledge that he received. Most of you are like intellectual pigs. I'm going to say that again. Most of you are like intellectual hogs. See, a hog has no digestive system. The cow will chew it up here. It has 3 digestive systems. It's getting it together. And every time it's digesting, it's separating this from that only the best will get down to become a part of the body, and the rest will be cast out as waste. But when you're a pig, everything you eat becomes a part of you, so that you become a big barrel of educational swill. So this little piggy went to market, and this little piggy stayed home. But wherever whoever those pigs were, they did not know how to differentiate truth from falsehood and the value of real knowledge from theory. And so white folk laid on us a whole bunch of mess. And he called it education and knowledge and book learning. And we, like the pig, kept our head down. Slurped it all up. And then when it came time to produce, we couldn't produce nothing. White folks know that what they've given us as knowledge is a joke. But the wise among us, who have buttressed and complemented what they give with self-knowledge, are able to look into everything that they teach and separate the wheat from the chaff and take the wheat into the storehouse of knowledge and act on the principles thereof. Elijah Muhammad's sub-motive was to make helpers, to help him in the awesome task that God had laid on his shoulders, the task of raising up a dead nation. Elijah Muhammad was not a selfish man. He was not a man motivated by greed. He wanted people to help him get to you with the word. And everybody that came to him, he would search them to see if they would make a good laborer. And even if they were a plumber and just knew how to sweat a pipe, he would show them how to sweat black people together. Can you do that? When Malcolm went to Philadelphia, Malcolm got a job as a painter just to make a little money. And he wrote the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and told the Honorable Elijah Muhammad he had gotten a job as a painter. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad wrote him a letter saying, do you want to paint the walls of men? Or do you want to paint the hearts of men with the truth? In other words, just like Jesus, he found Peter fishing. He said, come on, get up out of there. I'm going to make you a fisher of men. Why are you going to make me a fisher of men, Jesus? Because I got a mission. And my mission is to retrieve men out of the sea of sin. Will you help me? So Peter came, James came, John came, Mark came, Thomas came. But he didn't